So on Friday, typically this is called Good Friday, which is a very strange and seemingly ironic name for such a dark day. We talked yesterday about how Thursday was this tipping point. Well, Friday, it's gone off the rails, seemingly. Friday morning, Judas, the disciple who sat and had his feet washed, who sat and communed, and who left early, and who went and who betrayed Jesus, 30 pieces of silver, and who went and then came back and betrayed him with this kiss, this famous kiss on the cheek. That Judas Friday morning is overcome by what he did. We don't know all the reasons. We don't know all the thoughts. We don't know what went through his mind or what landed him finally in the place where he found himself. But Friday morning, Judas hung himself, committed suicide. It sets the tone for a very dark day. Jesus, on this Friday, endures trial after trial after trial, sham after sham after sham. Pilate recognizes this, and he's like, man, I don't want anything to do with this. Yeah, this is a mess. This guy's done nothing wrong. I can find no problem with him. Tries to kick it out. Well, it gets kicked back to him. So then Pilate comes up with an idea, and he's like, okay, so you got this Jesus guy who's done nothing but upset some, these religious leaders because he's messing in their playground. And then you've got Barabbas, this infamous killer, murderer on death row, already. I'll give you all the option. You can pick one or the other. And much to his dismay, the crowd shouted when asked, who should I release for this holy weekend? He would pardon someone. And so he offered up a pardon, and the crowd screamed Barabbas. Pilate washes his hands ceremoniously, throws it at the people. He's like, man, this isn't on me. This is on you. I'm out. I'm done with this sham. Trial after trial after trial, false accusation after false accusation, tortured and beaten and sentenced to death, and death on a cross, the demeaning way, a horrendous way designed for pain and torture, used for to make a point, was the way that he was condemned to die on this cross. He's on the cross. People are watching. John is there. His mother is there. He makes a point to take care of his mama at these last moments, where he tells John, this is your mom. Mom, this is your son. It's a charge to take care of. Around 3 p.m., Jesus dies. And he says, paid in full. Paid in full are the final words. Let that sink in. All the ramifications. Paid in full. By 6 p.m., he's been taken down. Joseph, Nicodemus, they've placed him in the tomb. And on Friday, Jesus has died. And we know now what we know now. And so now we dub this Good Friday. But I assure you, to no one present that day was this a Good Friday. Not to Mary, not to the disciples, not to the throngs of followers. It was a dark and tragic day. Dark in the realest sense, too. 3 hours, the sun blotted out. But the veil was torn. If you don't know much about that, I won't get into it here, but the significance of that should never be lost. This veil that separated people from the presence of God, torn, floor to ceiling, fell away. That barrier there no longer. Paid in